I think the revival of pilgrimage routes offers a great opportunity for people in Canada to learn about the Indigenous culture, because so much of what we learn about the Indigenous culture is in books and movies and documentaries and museums. And if you really want to learn about their culture, you need to learn experientially. And these are people who have lived deeply connected to the land for thousands of years, that before Europeans came, walking routes were crucial to connect their different villages, to connect different tribes and trading routes. And to walk in the footsteps of these people is the best way to learn from them. And now, what's happening in British Columbia and the Rockies is these ancient pilgrimage routes are being revived. And Indigenous people are leading the way in guiding people through their lands and learning the stories they have of the plants, of the mushrooms, of the trees, of the natural features, of the sky, of their creation stories. And that's really how you connect with these people. And it's one thing to learn through media, it's another thing to learn experientially through all your senses, through time spent with people. So I think one of the things that's happening in Canada is a reconciliation, where Canadians are working to improve their relationship with Indigenous people. And I think the pilgrimage routes being revived is a really good opportunity there, because you can learn from them in their land, hear their stories, not in an abstract way, but the stories of the land in the land, right? Because they're land-based people. They're deeply connected to the land. They're not abstract like the modern ways of thinking in science, which is written in books and in documented and in a detached observer is how the knowledge is being gained. They have this deep spiritual knowledge of the land's stories, of the land's creation, that can really educate people today about an ethos, a way of seeing, a way of perceiving that's actually connected to the land, that's connected to nature, that can create that kinship with the land that makes people care enough to want to protect it, to want to fight for the land and for nature and for Indigenous rights in a world based around materialism where money and status is the driving force. So I think to unplug for a few days, to walk these pilgrimage routes, to sit with Indigenous guides, to learn their stories from them directly, and have them guide you through this experiential learning adventure on the land is a life-changing experience. I think every person in Canada should have a chance to do that. And today with technology, we're so immersed, we're so inundated with all this distraction, all this stimulation. And for our own mental health, we need to start to prioritize unplugged time in nature, trekking, walking, meditating, where we can hit that reset button on all the stress that builds up in the modern world and reconnect to something that's ancient, that's ancestral, that's alive, that's animistic. And I think these pilgrimage routes in British Columbia, in the Rockies of Alberta, are a really good opportunity for that experiential learning, for that renewed connection and that renewed kinship between people in the land, between Canadians and Indigenous Canadians that were here for thousands of years before Europeans came, and then later other waves of immigrants came. And so many people in Canada today have very little connection to the Indigenous stories of the land where they live, know very few plants or mushrooms or trees or even birds where they live. And I think these pilgrimage routes are a great opportunity to relearn this knowledge and revive this knowledge and spread this knowledge, and hopefully rewild our perception in some way that we can start to really care and connect in a deeper way with this living, animate world.